Hey guys, Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com with another video. This is a good dessert one. I'm going to make homemade gelato. I'm actually going to do like three versions of it, but I'm going to show you one of them, and then I'll show you the finished product on all three. But I'm going to make limoncello flavored gelato. You don't need an ice cream machine in order to make this. This is done without an ice cream machine. I'm also going to make a pistachio one, and I'm going to make a Nutella one because my wife obviously loves Nutella, and I'm an Italian, so you have to have Nutella in there. But this one's an easy one from start to finish. The ingredients are simple to start. We're going to have 2 cups of milk, 2% milk preferably, a cup of heavy cream. You can find like whipping cream, heavy cream in stores. It'll say 35% on it. That's good enough. I also have, let me show you here if I can do this. I have on the oven right now the limoncello, and you know I make my own homemade limoncello. I'll have a video up on that. But right now I'm literally heating it up and removing some of the alcohol from it, of course, leaving sort of the just the limoncello flavor in it. Because we've got to put this obviously eventually in the freezer, and if you got a high alcohol content, it's obviously not going to freeze or set. So we're going to start with that. While the milk and cream heats up, I'm going to add some lemon zest to the limoncello to add some additional flavor to it, and then we'll add some to the limoncello afterwards. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, the milk and cream are now under heat, and it's starting to get a little warm. We don't want it to boil, where you see sort of like the milk and cream turning to a foam. What you're going to do is, and let me see if I can just show you this, but on the outer edges, when you see it start to basically start to bubble up on the sides, that's when you know that it's hot. At that point, you can turn it off. But while this is heating up, we're going to take 4 eggs. You just want the egg yolks, not the whites. I've actually kept the whites to the side, and I'll be making some almond cookies with those because it goes well. So 4 eggs, half a cup of sugar, pour it in, and we're going to use the old school Italian blender and blend this up while the milk and cream start to form. We'll be right back. We're going to start now. Just to show you, your egg mixture should look like this, that the egg and sugar, the yolk. There's no clumps in it. What you want to do is, at this point here, and this is probably the most important point that I think we're going to go through, is you don't want to cook the eggs. This isn't creme brulee we're making, so you've got to pour the milk in slowly, the milk and cream mixture, and maybe just put about a cup in. But as you're putting it in, you've got to whisk it extremely quickly. Reason for this is you don't want to get any chunks in there. You don't want this egg to cook that's in there, so continue to stir quickly. You're basically tempering the eggs with this warm mixture, and it's looking pretty good right now. So I can add a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to put another cup worth in, and then there's no need to put the last cup in. We're just going to add it right to the pot, because at this point the milk and cream in the pot has started to cool down a bit, but more importantly the egg and sugar mixture has tempered to the point where, as you'll see, there are no chunks in this. I guess you can't really see it, but you will in a minute. And at this point, if I can move the camera down, give me a second, we are going to add the rest of the mixture, still whisking it as quickly as possible, getting any that's left in there. The limoncello, the alcohol is pretty much burned out of it, so we're going to turn that off. I'll show you that shortly of what that looks like. But we've now mixed this together, and we're going to allow it to cool a little bit, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we now have the milk, cream, and egg yolks and sugar back over medium heat. You'll see here. We're going to continue to whisk it. We want a sort of a thicker consistency at this point, so we're going to try and continue to whisk that. Keep it over medium heat. We don't have to worry about the eggs right now anymore because they've been tempered and they're good now. The limoncello, just to show you what this sort of looks like. I'm going to try and raise the thing here, but it's now a really nice syrupy yellow color. I'm going to put that off to the side, give you a look at what it looks like. So there's the limoncello in its final form. It'd be rude not to have some limoncello. I've sent this to some of my friends in Vegas. This is the homemade limoncello that I make. Each and every year I make a couple batches. I'm going to experiment and I've got a video going on how to make this limoncello properly, but it would be rude not to have some right now. Nothing like a drink at, well, it's almost noon somewhere. Anyways, at this point here, we are going to add the limoncello flavoring along with the lemon zest that we added to it earlier, and we're going to put this into the mixture. Okay, so we are now going to add the limoncello, which I showed you just a little bit earlier. We're going to add this now to the milk, cream, eggs, and sugar. Add a little bit at a time. You want to make sure none of that lemon zest that you added earlier is clumped up as well either. Sometimes as it's cooking it will. Add a little bit in here to get this out. And we'll continue to whisk this and wait for it to thicken up. Okay, it is starting to thicken up to the consistency that we want. I can tell it's extremely smooth. If you're wondering how to tell whether it thickens up or not, you can always use the wooden spoon test. What's the wooden spoon test? Essentially, you take your wooden spoon, you add it in there, and if you can run your finger down and it doesn't come back together again, I don't know if you can see that line there, then it's forming a consistency. I'll do it on the other side, and you can essentially see the line between the two. So we know it's thickening up at this point. So we're going to turn off the heat. We're now going to transfer to, if you're only making one and you have a very good sort of freezer type bowl, you can use them. Because I'm making 3 different ones, I'm using these little tin bread pans. So we're going to pour it into that. But essentially, you now have your gelato, which looks like this. All right, so we've now put it into these trays. These are just some disposable tin bread trays. So because I'm making 3 of them today, I figured I'd pick up a 3-pack of these. It is now in there. What we're going to do is we're going to put it into the freezer. Because we're doing this without an ice cream maker machine, what you're going to do is over the course of the next 3 hours, you're going to bring it out every 30 minutes or so, and with your whisk, just run it across the top. The reason for that is obviously in an ice cream machine it continues to churn, but here the fact that we're putting it into the freezer, it's going to form some ice crystals across the top, and you want to sort of break them down and add them back in. So you'll do that every 30 to 45 minutes over the course of 3 hours, and at that point it sets, and I'll show you the final product when we're done. All right, the finished product is now done. It's frozen. I'm going to scoop some because it's still a touch soft, but that's just because I wanted to finish off this video. So that's limoncello there, the gelato. It's pretty damn good. All right, guys, that was limoncello gelato from start to finish. Please subscribe below to the WagerTalk channel, and I'll have a couple more videos up soon for you guys. Thanks for watching.